Ladies and gentlemen, there's always been a reason why you never saw a lot of our men and women in the community as certified teachers, and that's because they have made the process difficult. And that's by design. See, they want their fat Karen in front of us teaching the entire world, and she can't teach an ant. And it is time for y'all to get your butts from in front of us trying to teach. Y'all can't teach. Y'all can't teach. Okay? You can't teach. So, Black and Latino students lack access to certified teachers and advanced classes, US data shows. No, because they keep trying to put Karen in front of y'all, and Karen is really sabotaging you. She's only there to sabotage the kids that don't look like her. So America's Black and Latino students are at a disadvantage in nearly every measure of educational opportunity, with less access to advanced classes, counselors, and certified teachers, according to data released Wednesday by the U.S. Education Department. The findings reflect inequities in the last implications for students' ability to learn effectively, go on to college, and earn degrees. We view education as a springboard that puts the American dream within reach, yet access to educational opportunities in this country remains unequal. And it don't take all this time to balance out education. Whenever you see something still going on, that's because they want it this way. They just can't come out and tell you that, but they want it this way. So, this is according to the educational secretary, Miguel Cardona. So, the data was released as part of the civil rights data collection, a federal survey of nearly every public school in the nation. It was gathered during the 2020-2021 school year when schools were remained at least partially closed, because of the pandemic. America's education system has long had deep educational disparities. Again, if they wanted to fix this, y'all, it would have been fixed a long time ago. They like it this way. They like our kids having disadvantages and their kids having all of the advantages. This is the way they like it. So, nearly 7 decades after the Supreme Court ordered schools to desegregate, the new data offers a glimpse of basic differences that endure in schools serving predominantly Black and Latino students. For example, a growing body of evidence is tied to instruction from certified teachers to better outcomes of students. Yet, Black and Latino students are more likely to attend schools with lower percentages of certified teachers, according to the new data. Yeah, because y'all keep trying to push Karen in front of us. And these Karens probably got low marks in college. If they didn't, they sure act like it. So, anyway, about 522,000 students, or about 1% of all students, went to school where fewer than half the teachers all met state certification requirements. In those schools, 66% of the students were Black or Latino. So they put the most inadequate teachers in front of Black and Latino students. I mean, this should not be shocking to anybody. And plus, we all had Karen as teachers, and we know she sucks. So there was a similar divide when it came to school counselors. Overall, 77% of public schools had at least one counselor, 43% had at least one police officer or security guard. Now, you know what? That is also the thing that's real jacked up that they do. They'll put the police officer and security guards in the black schools, right? But all the school shootings happen in the white schools. That's where you need to put your police and security officers over there. But compared with white peer students of color, were more likely to be in schools that had security staff but no counselor. Black students and those of more than one race were 1.2 times more likely to attend those schools, while the rate of 1.4 for Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islanders, American Indians, and Alaska Native students, the education department found. Cardona called it appalling disparity in light of rising rates of mental health challenges for young people. Yeah, but y'all could have fixed this decades ago. But the fact that it's still going on, all these disparities in education, you have no choice but to believe they just want it this way. So, anyway, barriers extend to students' access to higher level classes. Taking advanced classes improves a student's chances of going to college, study finds. Yeah, not unless your parents got a lot of money and then you can be part of a college cheating scandal. And if you really don't feel like doing your own work when you get in college, you just pay some body over in Nigeria or Kenya that's way smarter than you, and they'll do your work for you. So, Black students represent 15% of all high school students, but made up 8% of the students in advanced placement science and 6% in AP math. Latino students represented 27% of all high school students and made up 20% in AP science and 19% in AP math. All right. So white and Asian students, by contrast, were overrepresented in AP class. Yeah, well, that's about right. Just like you're all overrepresented out here in the workforce too. So anyway, the percentage of Black and Latino students in AP Math and Science is mostly unchanged from 2017 to 2018, the last school year covered by the survey, with a slight increase in Latino enrollment in both tests. I'm a person of color, and it often makes me wonder why people of color always get the bottom of the barrel, because the people at the top don't look like them. So they don't care what they put in front of Black and Latino students. Okay, your decision makers are don't look like them. They're only concerned about the students that look like them. So if you don't look like them, they don't care what they throw at them. They don't value these kids in the first place. So why should they go above and beyond for them? That's how they feel. So anyway, moving on. So this is what Sonia Thomas, executive director of Nashville Propel, an organization that works with parents to advocate for students of color. It's so disheartening. Our children deserve the very best, and we need to hold the state and federal government accountable. Well, first of all of politics in America is rooted in racism. So all of the government agencies that are ran are also rooted in racism. So this is the end result of what you get. Advocates have pointed out the inequities in advanced course offerings for years. Researchers have shown that low income students and students of color are less likely to take advanced math and science courses, even in schools where AP courses are offered. These new CRDC data reflects troubling differences in students' experiences in our nation's schools. We remain committed to working with school communities to ensure the full civil rights protections that the federal law demands. But see, that's the thing. There's all kinds of laws and policies in place, they just don't get enforced. They just don't get enforced. Y'all like stuff on paper because I think in your minds it makes you look good, but it really don't make you look good at all if you're not enforcing anything. So, at many schools with larger rates of students of color, taking advanced courses wasn't even an option. The number of courses in math, science, and computer science was fewer than so it's offered at fewer than 5,500 public high schools where Black and Latino students represent more than 75% of all students. In 35% of schools with high Black and Latino enrollment, calculus wasn't offered, while it was available in 54% of schools with low Black and Latino enrollment. So, in other words, where you got a big white student population. The education department found that students with disabilities and those with learning um, English as a second language was also unequal. Students in both groups had lower enrollment in math and science classes compared with enrollment among all students, for example. During the 2020-2021 school year, 26% of all high schoolers took biology, a common class for ninth graders, but just 13% of high schoolers with disabilities took the class, and only 7% of students that, have English as a second language took the class. The civil rights data collection is seen as important they're using it as a guide and trying to balance things out, but y'all, that stuff takes time. And let's face it, I heard similar things like this when I was a kid. And it just goes to show you how long it's been going on. And it's not getting fixed because they don't want to fix it. They'll gladly babble about it a little and tell you what's wrong, but as far as taking action to fix it, they won't do that. These people are not about that. That's not their thing. So, mm-mm. All right. So, data on some topics are skewed in a year upend by the pandemic, which kept many students away from the classroom for long stretches. Arrest in schools, for example, fell from 54,000 between 2017 to 2018 to 8,900 in 2020 to 2021. Of the 97,000 schools included in the survey, 88% were offering hybrid of in person and virtual classes in the 2020-2021 school year, with 5% offering virtual classes only. About 7% were entirely in person. So, they're robbing our children in education. They always have and always will. And it's not the kids that don't want to learn, it's the adults that don't want to do their jobs. That's what it really boils down to. I know a lot of people like to blame the kids. I blame the adults. I blame the policymakers and the people in charge because this could have all been resolved decades ago. But when you got people that put racism ahead of all else, this is the end result of it. And the disparities look the same today as they did in the 60s and 70s. Y'all tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.